Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowFool here in City Skylines. Well, last episode we started the implementation, the building of a brand new oil industry, which we have kind of implemented on the side of the map, which is away from the main area, the mainland. It's only like its own little island, which can only really be accessed via people using a ferry line, or even the cargo being transported by cargo ship, which makes it quite a unique feature to the area. Well, today we're going to continue to grow the oil industry. We needed to start producing more oil, and we also need to start eventually refining the oil into petroleum and into plastic, so we can use those materials to make higher value goods. Now, if you are enjoying SnowFool and want to see more, then make sure you smash the like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But we are back. Boom. And this is what we got set up in the last episode. It's pretty simple, it's pretty basic. We got everything that we needed done to make it functional without adding all the, skedoodling details to it. We've got our harbour all up and running, which is protected by the high waves and currents of the sea. We got a little import-export area just over here. And we also have our little kind of ferry harbour set up too. So what happens is trains come in from the oil that we produce, which we're only really producing it just here right now. We've got a couple of little oil wells kind of skedoodled in. We have a centralized train line over here, which, will be more centralized when we build more wells and drills all up here. Worker barracks are down here. A little bit of storage over there as well. Easy access to the cargo section. And it all pretty much works. This cargo ship right now is skedoodling to Varese right now. I have seen some of them going back and forth here, which is really, really exciting. And this is what, guys, I've got to eventually change this as well. The ferry depot and the harbour on this side. I might just put them all on this side to make it a little bit easier, but there's more room. But it all works. Now, one thing I have noticed is when the trains come in with the cargo and they want to take it to wherever, they have to go straight out. They can't do a little left turn here. Which is a shame, really, because that little left turn there will enable them to go all the way up and eventually connect to where we have, one, the other harbour, but also, two, all the kind of cargo industrial buildings over here. I just realised, to get goods from over here down to there, they've got to come out this way, go the long way round to kind of come in. Well, that's a big pain in the booty right now, isn't it? So that to there is an 11. It's not going to be my usual 21 by 21, unfortunately. I can't get it to work with this area. But what I can do is bring this slightly down and bend it all anyway. And if we get any problems, we'll kind of solve them and fix them as we go along. So let's just slightly raise this up. There we go. We'll slightly raise you. Oh, no, wrong one. Slightly raise you. Right, there we go. That's what we'll do for that. So we'll see how that much just changes it in reality. Right, sweet. See how we get on with that. We'll see how we get on with that. So over in this area then, we need to start producing not only more oil, but eventually start creating plastics and petroleum. Now, currently, with the minimal stuff, oh, it's just upgraded, by the way. So, with the minimal oil wells that we placed in, our acquisition is 153 barrels, which we get a little bit of an output, and it barely just makes any profit. So, we need to take it to the next stages then. So, first things first then, we're going to look towards this area up here where we're going to place in a few additional drills. So, with the road that we've currently got, which is the rural road, and I believe is it this one? Let me find out right now. Right, so we have to keep this all above ground, by the way. So I'm actually sinking in, and I like the idea that we've been doing with this staggered kind of system, like the tiered that we're gonna have. Yeah, that is the right road. And then what I'll do, I'll bring it out by another 30 there, but then bring this to the normal level. And then we're pretty much up here right now and we get to work with all of this. So I bring this all the way out. Nice straight road so we can implement drills either side. Just makes life a little bit easier. And then we're going to create, like how we got these little, staggered offset levels, which I think is pretty cool. We'll implement a little road coming off this one. So we'll go up by the 20. And then we'll bring this up to 0 as well. So that kind of changes the elevation. And we'll do a small little bend just here. So we'll do a 5x5, which will lead us down in this direction, where we'll implement some more wells right now. Are they called wells or drills? Let's find out. So over here, I only went as far as using... did we do the big wide ones? Yeah, we only went as far as using these ones, right? The small oil ones. Did I even use those? What are these? Oh, that is them. Yeah, okay. So then we're moving on to next then, a couple of large drills, which these are fairly large. So I reckon then what we should do is think about bringing this road down. So go down by 15. There we go. And then we'll do a small little road coming off there. We'll do one going down there as well. So it looks all kind of nicely staggered. Like jazz. We'll throw in one here. There. So a few little drills. I'll bring it down a little bit further. Where we should be able to squeeze in another 2. So just keeping it quite simple. I don't want to push the boat too much. I don't want to push it too much. And we also need to play around with the terraforming as well. So we'll go for a little bit of a smooth widening. So this one will smooth it as we transition going up the hill. There we go. And then in some areas we'll make it a little bit more sharper. And then we'll just smoothen some of these sections. I'm going to slightly raise that there. So I like the staggering because it creates these big overhangs and overshadows, as if like it's like, you know, when they build a quarry and they dig out the huge holes and they use the excess to level out certain areas and create, you know, supports and whatnot. It's kind of like what we've done here in many ways. So we'll extend the water line. Extend this one as well. Very good. And then of course we're going to need some power. Noise. And that should now be functional and operational. Beautiful. Beautiful. So next then, we also have the ability to do some offshore ones, some offshore drilling platforms. Now these are a bit different, a bit unique. I don't know if I should be able to squeeze one in around here. Like there. That will be quite fun to implement. But it is quite a closed off area. So what I might have to do is just kind of dig into this a little bit. And then smoothen it. Now the water will cause some chaos. But that should work. This will be quite a fun little area down here. So throw you in. We have a nice little offshore oil planet within the bay. That's quite funky. I like that. I really do like it. But of course we got to connect it to the road network. So let's first bring you down and then take you directly up. So if I go to, and I don't want to be too high up, but keep it nice and simple. Where do we meet? We meet kind of here, don't we? So what's that? That is a, so we meet by a 10. We'll upgrade this road as well, going down. Right, keeping it nice and jazzy. So that is the first one we implement. I might throw a few more around, but it'll be quite a cool little way to kind of end that area, which is pretty sweet. But we still got so much surface space to kind of work with. So, I'm bringing this road back out, by the way. And we'll bring it out by a 10. And we'll go down to here. And we'll cause a little bit of a bend. So we'll do a 5 by 5. There we go. And we'll go to here, and I'll do a 5 by 5 bend there as well. So it looks, you know, a bit funky, but the whole purpose is to create these long strips to place down loads of oil wells. Are they wells or drills? They're drills. Stop calling them wells, you fool. Right, this is going to be fun now. So we implement a couple of large boys going around. There we go. And then we got some large drills. We'll go down here. These are the plants, aren't they? Yeah. So we have some of these larger drills right now. Some of these, so they are, even though they're still large drills, they're still technically small compared to what we've got going on, which nicely staggered, looks really, really good. So we'll try and smoothen some of this area off. So there's only so much you're going to get from it. Which is why I like to dig into it a little bit. And then smoothing off the excess. There we go. I like it. I like the little staggering it does. It's really, really cool. Right. Run the water up here. And then... bam. We get all connected. So look at... oh my god. Look at the traffic jam. Oh, wait. Have I set this roundabout up correctly? I don't think I've done it, have I? Right, there we go. And by the looks of it, we could really utilize the proper slip roads on it. But that should get us directly where we need to go first. Just doing that alone should make the roundabout start moving. Without doing anything else. Without doing anything else. Right? Just that alone solves the roundabout issue. So just give it some time for the traffic to now circulate. But yeah, that should do exactly what we needed to do. You fool, Zodiac. You fool. It's a little bit close for comfort, but there you go. It's going to have solved the issue. It's all now dispersed quite nicely. We'll apply the same giveaway signs and stuff down here. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Just in case we see that issue arise over there too. Okay. Right, very good. So, are we seeing people making their way over here right now? Yeah, there's a couple of people waiting, as you can see just there, for the next ferry boat to make its way over. Where is that ferry boat anyway? It's on the way. It has, wow, 46 passengers on board. Not bad. Another cargo ship. So going from this cargo hub, and it's sailing all the way to this cargo hub. Yay! That's going to utilize the trains, that is. It's going to be quite handy. Lots of trains currently here right now. There's a small little cargo train there. Oh, I say small. We've got a small amount of cargo on. But they're coming in and out, boys. They're coming in and out. I like it. I like it. Heavily utilized. We are heavily utilized right now. Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. So, should we now start creating a couple of the production buildings? I think so. So I'm going to delete just to there. And you get in this industrial road all up and running. We are going to go from in the middle here. And 30 by 21. 28 by 25. 27 by 27. That works for me. And then we'll lead on to a... which is going to be quite difficult. Well, I won't say quite difficult, but I want to now... get the alignment back up and running. That's all I want to do there. And we'll do a nice sweet little bend here. So 24 by 16. I'll roll with it. But that does a nice little wiggle in to where we'll have a little bunch of the production buildings. So, all I'm going to be producing over here right now is, well, I say all I'm going to be producing. This is where we're going to have the, where is it? There we go. The Napa cracker plant for the plastics, and then the waste oil refinery for the petroleum. But we've also got to bring the train line in as well. So that's something else that we kind of really need to think about. So what we'll do is we'll create and we'll utilize the... so we'll do the rural road, because that's what I've been utilizing this whole time. And the gradient's not too bad here, so... Right, let me just get my bearings. I'll go around that way and up and in. So... Bam, bam. Right, I'm trying to figure out in my head the best way to do it. So I think going up this way. So if I go by a 30... So just bear with me a second. And I do a 5 by 5, 5 by 5, all the way down. And then on this side, place down the train station. Because they come in from this way, then they go out that way. So that's where we're going to have that. And the train station is going to go up and round this way, scoodle through, and then eventually meet this connection here. Which would be glorious. Now, there's a lot of traffic here, so I don't know whether it's worthwhile to maybe build an additional train station. Or at least sort out the V's on this. I'll come back to this anyway. We'll come back to it and fix it. So if that's like that then, right, don't worry too much about the elevation of all this because we can change it all. So we'll go just to there. And then, of course, the train line itself. So it'll be cool to get it connected to here. So 13 by 13 directly in. And then this is going to skedoodle up to where we want it to connect to this. So it is currently, I believe, a 10 gap away. So at this point here, right, let's go from there to the 10 gap there. That's going to be quite difficult to do, isn't it? Right, there we go. So it's a 10 gap away from both of them. So let's kind of bring this down to the final bend, which happens there. So we should be able to go from there to there, which it bends around, which it all should be a 10 away. And then I'm going to use the connection tool to do the rest of the work for me here. So maximize the bend, which is not really much to bend on it anymore. So as much as you can take it, just there, bam, bam, bam. And it eventually transitions to being on the ground. So simple, but hopefully effective. Right, widen this mouth there. And a slight little mound there, which is all good. So that's sorted there. Perfect. That's how I want it. So this is going to obviously tear through here and end down here, that road, where that connects. And then we'll have a couple of storage buildings, but mainly... So basically, you can also do the train yard as well. That also wouldn't be such a bad idea. I might implement some train yards down here as well to store those goods. Right, we could solve that traffic so easy with a couple of V's. But with this being its only connection as well is slightly a little bit of a pain too. Right, I don't want to solve. I want to solve it, but not just yet, because it's going to sidetrack me from completing all of this, which it literally is, because I'm itching to kind of get over there. Right. So we'll start here. So that is your 10 just there. So bringing this down, and then where does the bend come into play? Not just yet. So 12 by 14, we'll go with that. That works out fairly well. And then let's get this pretty much then all connected. So straight from here. So that's a 20 away. So if I went from there. I know that seems quite ridiculous, but that is literally all I need it to be. Why is this not clicking? Right, there we go. Perfect. So that's all now in place then. Obviously, got to bring the water and the power and right over. Don't worry about it too much. So we need to place down the buildings. So what are the size of the buildings first? So, okay. Do you know what? Okay, they're not ridiculous. They're quite reasonable. They are quite reasonable. So we'll bring a road out like this. We'll bring one down just here. I don't know where them vehicles are now going. We'll bring one here. So sticking these all slightly out. Like that. And then, of course, we'll extend the road down a bit too. Now, I want to implement some of the train yards, the warehouses, which are here. And obviously, you want to get it all set up to where we can kind of also connect to all of this. So I'm thinking with the the rural road, if I place this like this here, where can I squeeze one in? Oh, also, this is something else as well. Someone said if I unhook the train line here, I can make it go straight out rather than on a bend. I mean, I've got to try and... Oh my god, you can. Right, okay. Right, shut the front door a minute. Right, we're going to have 2. Oh my god. $11 by 11. Oh my god, you can have it going straight in. What? 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 Why did I realize? I'm surprised I didn't realize that in the first place. Okay. So then, by that logic, we do another drag on the road, which I'm going to try and get this to all be the same height. I know I'm building on a slight little mound right now, but if I made all this and be the same object height as you, I'm just going to have to quickly terraform it. Let's go a bit bigger in the brush size. And then I'll change the elevation of these train tracks as well. Right, let me do this to this one then. Right, that road is not exactly where I want it. Six, 7. It's all completely off-centered. Right, there we go. So how are we connecting these then to the road? Now, do I implement a roundabout, maybe? Because obviously that will go like that. But then again, I can just do a simple... I mean, I can make this a little bit chunkier. I'll see how much traffic kind of comes from this before I make that decision. Because it could be okay and there's nothing to worry about, or it could be the worst thing I've ever done in my life and there's plenty to worry about. Alright, so that was a 10. We'll make this one go a 20 then. 11 by 11. So we're matching the same bends almost. Straight in. Oh, that looks so much more beautiful, doesn't it? It looks so much more beautiful. So this will go down to here, and then we'll bend it in on the 10. We'll bend this one in the 10 now. There we go. And we'll just sort out this terraforming real quick. So that's pretty cool. I do like this. And obviously we'll store in this one petroleum. And we'll store in this one plastics. Now problem is, right, that they'll store this before I can produce the goods. They'll store it before I can even produce the goods, so it will get imported in from out of the region. But it should all come via train, so there should be no issues. Right, there's some this is really hurting my feelings, this right now. This whole area. So let me quickly select all of this. And same object height as this corner just there. Oh, no, wrong button. Same object height as this corner here. And then we'll utilize the alignment tool. Get out of the way. So go from here to here, which you gotta do it like this. You go bam, 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 to the bam, bam. Which doesn't solve much here. We're going to dig this back slightly. There we go. Okay. Oh, I don't really like how much it's still trying to kick in. It could also be this as well, like bending this out a bit more. Which does slightly work. Right, I won't worry about that little. I mean, I can trim that all off anyway, but I won't worry about it too much because I need to get some more stuff now done. So we'll go sideways to sideways on this. So we'll go just here with this one, and let's see what I can actually physically place down first within this oil industry. So I actually got to spread the zoning over before I can actually do any more of it. So nice and big on the industries. Bring this all the way down. La-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da. There we go. So, which is the big one out of the two? I know this is the small one, which fits in there perfectly. This one is fairly large. So we'll start with you. And then we'll stagger another one just there. So I'm not going to go too crazy with these. I want a fair amount. But I'm not worried too much about it all. Right, I'm going to make it connect to this just because I want the bend. 11 by 11. Right, if I do that, and there's no node on it, but if I add a node in the middle, we should be able to get a sweet little wiggle. Like that. Glorious. I won't connect it all, I just want a few little spots connected. And we'll place down some of these smaller boys. There we go. So there's not really that much going on. I think 4 of each for now would be reasonable. Now, it also would be nice to store it a little bit more locally nearby too. I'll bring this road going out, because you never know what I'm going to add down here as well. And of course we need to get the water all connected. So we'll go straight down here, straight down. Try and follow this road to a certain degree. Alright, cover that. So that covers it for the water, but the power's a different story, so I'm going to use a few wind turbines. So, slightly on the hill with the wind turbine. And then we'll run this down. So hopefully those 3 can power it all. If not, I'll place in one more. humble beginnings. Okay, humble beginnings. Now I'm hoping that when they produce here, they've got two options. They can even drive all the way up, or they can go down to here to get on the train. So there's a couple of options for them anyway. There is a couple of options. We'll see what happens. These ones driving down right now are on the way because they came down here before I turned the train station on, so it didn't have the ability to train it down just yet. Now we still got the issue here, which we've got to solve. So I'm going to actually quickly delete this, and we'll begin with this one first. So it is the rural road that we're going to go with, and the connection is a 5. So we'll do a 2, and then we'll do a 1 and a 1, which I should have kept the connection in. So slightly bend these. So it's only a 1 and a 1, nothing too crazy going on. Well, how do I get rid of you? Bye. Get that all being connected back again. So again, with doing the bare minimum, I'm just trying to get these all now connected. Right, why are these not going straight? Oh wait, hold on. This road's the wrong way around. That's why it's not going straight. So that obviously all has to turn off into one direction as well. So split that like that. So I've got to set the roundabout one more time because it's missing the giveaway sign now, just there. So would have deleted a lot of the vehicles there. So that is a very, very loose interpretation of doing all of this. We've then also got to make sure that we have the ability on these junction restrictions to allow the vehicles to flow through, so they don't stop and start for anyone. And is there a speed limit on these? It goes from a 50 to an 80. So it sounds mental, but I'm going to make them 80s as well, so the vehicles can maintain the speed as they're skadoodling through. Now there's only so much they can do. I'm going to change that road as well. I don't know why I've done it that road, but let's go for a highway slip road. Which would then mean you would want to make it a bit chunkier. But the problem I've got now is, because we've made it so much easier to kind of navigate the island, the roundabout, it's now bringing in too many vehicles into our little cargo bit. But as it all slowly dies down, eventually it will kind of back off a little bit. But I need to apply that logic to all of this as well, you know, to get the free flowing going on. Now we do need some more wind turbines. I don't have proper power situated around here, to be honest with you. Bam. And I do need maybe some alternative connections to get people in and out of this area. But let's apply the skadoodling here, as I like to call it. So we'll get you now connected. So we'll go for you to there, to there. Now I should always put a brace point in for the road, but how does that messed up my bend now? So that slightly up there. So that, I mean, it will work. There's no problems with this. There's no issues. There's no issues whatsoever. They'll now take their turn, but you've got to play it on every junction. So because this one's not too bad, I'm just going to wait a minute. But you can see it all now going through. But there's a lot of demand to get to the train station. There is a lot of demand, which is why we should also think about implementing a second train line. Now I have a feeling that these guys might drive all the way up because of the distance. So I don't know whether it's a good idea to maybe increase the speed here to 80 80, 80, and then we drop down to maybe a 30 and a 30. Because I want them to use the train line over anything else. So now it might be quicker to drive this way. But also, they don't have any goods to produce anything just yet because we are so backlogged here right now with all of this. So we've got to, you know, be able to kind of export the goods a little bit easier. So if I was to implement a second train line or train station to get the goods in and out, how will I connect it to this main line here? Now obviously will be to turn off to kind of continue to go up and then place it up here, which would be the perfect location for it. So I'm going to replicate something quite similar. So let's use this one here. Now at this point there, we'll go up by 10. Actually, how did I do that one? So I did the 5-ish. 10. Where does that match? Oh yeah, it does match. Okay, so this worked out well. So 5. And then we'll bring this by a 30. 5 by 5. 5 by 5. Bring that to there. 5 by 5. Now this is what I built on the other side. This is almost identical to how I built it originally before I implemented all the changing. So I'm going to keep it like that for now. It's a bigger version of it, as you can tell. So I'm going to keep it like that, but I just want to see how much things change from it. So apparently too steep, but again, we'll sort out all the terraforming eventually. Now we need to run an alternative train line running down. So I'm going to bring it just to here. To where I need to then run this. Going through here. Actually, not like that. Right, it matches just there. Well, let me pause a minute because I'm going to end up deleting stuff. So don't worry about the elevation of it at the min. It is very, very high. And I run it down to a certain degree and then bend it in. Right, so that runs all the way up, which is pretty fun. Can't argue that. And we just need to now get it all situated in the correct angles. So definitely bring this down here, these two. So bring the, because these are matching, bring them to a certain height of there, and I'll be happy to then utilize that moving forward. Okay, so with the angling right now, we pick you to there, bam, sorted, mate. You to there, bam. How does that look? So it gradually goes down, which on this bit there, I might sink it to the ground. So that's all nice and gradual. But on this bit there, we'll get that to stick on the ground as a bit of support. And I might I might lower these down slightly to match it all. Right, that works out. Now it is going to cause chaos. Who doesn't love a little bit of chaos in general? Who doesn't love a little bit of chaos? But it gives us an additional export point, is the main thing. Now, how many of them are going to use it? I don't know. I don't know. But this is what I really like about this. We built it in this kind of little valley, and it's all staggered on different levels. It's like walking up a staircase. And each step reveals something new. I like it. So we probably will need to stick a roundabout here. We'll go for a small one. So we'll do a 2-lane highway. A little bit too big. Maybe a 30? A little 30 down. Set it all up. See how we get on with that. Now, are they using it or are they just going in the wrong direction? They probably just end up in the wrong direction. So with the looks of it, not many of them want to use it. But again, we can solve that. Do a 40. I'm not saying that that's going to solve the issues. Are they going to use it? Maybe these are already predetermined to go on the certain routes that they're set up on. Oh, hold on. Do I have power anywhere? Okay, we're missing the power here. Oh, I'll get the power connected just there. Right, why does nobody want to use my new train line? I built this just for you guys. Oh, these now go into it. Yeah. Okay, we're getting a few vehicles now using it. So, every one of them that does use it is one less one going to over here. That's the important part of it. There's actually a couple of vehicles now making their way in that direction. So, we've got to bulk up these roads as well. So, I won't do a V on this one. What I'll do is turn it into the 4-lane highway. That goes both sides. Now, that does mean we can get multiple vehicles turning out. Now, they'll only do multiple turns out when they want to do the different lanes together. But at the same time, it is not very good. It's not a very good idea, this. It is such a short distance for what we're trying to attempt at this point. But they'll eventually make their way out, and then the backlog will eventually die down. But even I don't like this, to be honest with you. I don't like this. I'm actually going to delete it. And we'll just kind of keep it back to normal to what we just had. So we'll go rural. Now, the distance of that is a 6. We'll come out by a 2 to create the connection. And then we'll use the highway slip roads to go bam, bam. I always forget to put a brace in, man. He's so foolish, foolish. He's so damn foolish. So, setting you up. Bam. Go. So they should now just fly out. The only issue they'll have is choosing who gets to go first from these two junctions. But, again, leading all in the right direction. We shouldn't have any traffic lights. I'll do our asymmetrical road here. And do we have that with the highway? It would be nice to implement it with the highway. Oh no, that's the wrong style of road. Wait, hold on. There we go. Because you then get your dedicated left-hand turn. You're the straight ahead. So I mean, so anybody wanting to go straight ahead right now has the ability to do so. But we'll also allow those guys to completely flow in. To reduce any issues. So now we're exporting twice as much, as they're now able to kind of separate themselves between the two train stations. It's not perfect, not beautiful. This backlog now here is starting to die down, so once it's all now spread out quite nicely, it's a little bit more efficient. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it should do the job. Now, I want them to start using this a little bit more as well. You know, as cool as it is that they're driving, Oh, it's because these don't even have power. That's what it's for. The reason, sorry. Right, now do they have power? Thanking you. That's why they weren't working. They didn't have any power. How annoying. How annoying. Alright, so a little fast forward then. Hopefully they'll start using this then. Hopefully they'll start using it and it really does then die down the traffic. So how are we looking here then? Vehicles are slowly moving out. We do need more access points to get to enter this area. We do need more access points. But traffic is dying down. I'll see what happens when it all dies down. Right, there we go. Now we're getting vehicles heading over in this direction. Oh, we have traffic lights here, don't we? Yeah. Right, turn off, turn off. Turn that all off. No traffic lights for you. And we're going to be eventually storing the goods over here too as well. So now we see more vehicle movement heading down here, which is perfect. Ooh, transfer it to the cargo hub. This has almost died down, this whole little section now. And we have to stick a V here as well. Right, I want to make another access area. Rural road. So we'll come directly off this junction there. And then connection tool it. Now, I don't want to go too crazy. But it's got to look semi-good. This will be a bit too much of an ask to do this. But apparently this works. Could you imagine? Right, hold out for that for just a moment. Because I want to see how much this changes it alone. Because that would also do a lot of magic for us. Alright, it's a lot more free-flowing. I don't want to get hung up on it too much. Right. Oh, multiple trains making their way down here, by the way. This is good to see. Trains using the V over here. Right, so are we now... We're now a 5-star oil industry. 31,000 in profit. Oh my goodness me, boys. Now we've gone from 100 and something barrels to now 515 barrels, which is really, really good to see. And we are now producing 5 barrels of petroleum, 46 tons, sorry, of plastics. So hopefully those numbers will slowly increase as the industries do get more raw resources. I've still got a lot of jobs that are currently available, which is probably why we're not having the huge benefits of the production just yet. Because we don't have enough people working in these buildings, which is understandable when you take a look at our demands. We've got a huge residential demand and a huge commercial demand. That basically means, guys, we need more citizens. We do need more citizens right now. So we've got to keep pushing it in that direction. But already, you know, up to 30 grand profit. I'll take that. I'll truly take that right now. I'm quite happy with that. So this will always be a work in progress. It will always, I mean, I will eventually fine tune everything in general anyway. I think we've now put more pressure on this one by doing this connection because it then becomes a shorter distance route. So we will get a connection connected into here as well, so we can kind of split the difference almost. But yeah, it's always going to be a work in progress. We'll just keep adding to it as we need more and more jobs. But we are starting to get plastics and petroleum now being produced, so it means that we can now start building some of the unique industries that require those goods. Yeah, you can see that these guys are really, really requesting more oil coming in. And we need more people working here for the efficiency. So we'll look towards growing the population in the next coming episodes anyway, but it's all slowly coming together, boys. Now, what is the unemployment rate these days? It is, wow, we've got nearly 10,000 more jobs available than people employed. We really do need to grow the population. Nearly 3,000 of those jobs available are this oil industry alone. 45,000 a week. Damn! Right. Big stacks of cash are coming in. Big stacks of cash are now coming in. So guys, until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.